By mid-April, federal agencies raced to build a defensive maze around infected dairies. Checkpoints monitored cattle transport, milk tankers required bleaching protocols, and veterinarians launched statewide surveillance. Yet the virus threaded the gaps. Real-time PCR kits backordered as global demand spiked, leaving some farms waiting 10 days for confirmation. In that limbo, asymptomatic cows kept moving through regional auction yards. By mid-April, federal agencies raced to build a defensive maze around infected dairies. Checkpoints monitored cattle transport, milk tankers required bleaching protocols, and veterinarians launched statewide surveillance. Yet the virus threaded the gaps. Real-time PCR kits backordered as global demand spiked, leaving some farms waiting 10 days for confirmation. In that limbo, asymptomatic cows kept moving through regional auction yards. Newsrooms scrambled for footage, but many clips featured serene, spotless parlors. Advanced camera filters masked the exhaustion of workers scrubbing every surface with virucidal foam. Algorithms on social media platforms prioritized bright thumbnails over gritty realism, inadvertently downplaying the crisis. Midway through our story, it is vital to pause and invite the audience into action. Share reputable updates, challenge sanitized imagery, and subscribe to EcoEra so we can keep following the evidence wherever it leads. Testing weaknesses were compounded by policy friction. Unlike poultry, where culling entire flocks is standard, dairy cows represent individual capital assets worth thousands. A federal indemnity program existed, but calculations lagged behind market fluctuations. Some producers hesitated to report suspect cases, fearing financial ruin more than the pathogen itself. When epidemiologists plotted transmission chains, silent nodes consistently aligned with farms delaying disclosure by even 48 hours. At the consumer end, pasteurization remained the bedrock of safety. Yet the phrase "remains effective" sounded less comforting amid endless push notifications. A small but vocal raw milk movement framed the outbreak as a conspiracy against natural food, urging followers to support local and trust gut immunity. These messages traveled unfiltered across platforms, reminding us that misinformation evolves as rapidly as any virus. If biosecurity lapses gave H5N1 its opening, communication lapses flung the doors wide. Crisis fatigue, algorithmic bias, and economic incentives synchronized like gears in a flawed clock, marking time for the virus to explore new pastures. We now follow its ripple effects beyond the farm gate. Although laboratories and extension services disseminated emergency protocols, adoption varied by region. In states where consolidated mega-dairies dominate, corporate safety officers issued standardized checklists and digital tracking badges for staff. Smaller family farms, often operating on razor-thin margins, relied on handwritten logs and homemade disinfectant stations cobbled together from garden sprayers and PVC pipe. These disparities mapped neatly onto subsequent case clusters, drawing a stark line between those who could afford preparedness and those who could not. Satellite data confirmed what on-ground reports hinted. Truck movement between high-incidence counties continued at nearly pre-outbreak levels, a testament to the economic gravity pulling fresh milk toward processors no matter the risk. Epidemiologists borrowed network theory from social media analytics to model tanker routes, identifying supernodes where one contaminated valve could theoretically seed dozens of facilities. The exercise illustrated a brutal feedback loop. The same distribution efficiency that keeps grocery shelves stocked can also accelerate pathogen spread when safeguards slip. A deeper dive into communication breakdowns uncovered algorithmic culprits. Social media platforms, tuned to boost engagement, inadvertently prioritized comforting content over alarming yet accurate reports. Posts featuring pastoral cow imagery paired with reassuring captions outperformed lab updates in the algorithmic lottery, creating a perception gap. Behavioral economists coined the term pastoral filter bubble to describe this soothing distortion. Recognizing the stakes, a coalition of fact-check